Hello, all my beloved brothers and sisters. Kristen Brown here with KristenBrown.org. I'm also the host of the Sweet Empowerment Podcast on iTunes and Spotify. There's something like 100 and something episodes over there. So if you haven't gone there yet and you want more information about reclaiming your personal power, I cover an incredible array of topics over there. So jump over there and check it out, the Sweet Empowerment Podcast. Today I want to talk to you guys about violent behavior from somebody that we are trying to have a rational conversation with. Violent behavior to me is something like, people think of violence and they're thinking physical behavior, they're thinking yelling or hitting or something, thrashing stuff, throwing things around the room. That is violent behavior. But in this particular video, I want to talk about verbal violence. And what that is when you try to have a rational conversation with somebody and they can't be rational. They freak out, they yell at you instead, they gaslight, they turn things around on you, they name call. They do things that where you're just like, oh my God, I was just trying to share my feelings with you. Or I'm trying to get my needs met here. Or I'm trying to have a rational conversation and share with you how I'm feeling about you or how I'm feeling about myself, and they just can't stay in it. Well, there's a couple things that are happening here. Number one is that person could be feeling a lot of shame internally to begin with. So when you speak up, it ignites that shame. You are actually triggering their shame. Now, that does not mean that you are in charge of their trigger. They're in charge of their trigger, okay? Because you just might be the person triggering it right now. And it's not the fact that you are triggering it. It's the fact that they have that button in the first place. The fact that they have that open wound, and then you coming in and saying something that is just normal and healthy in a relationship, and that person blows their top and freaks out at you. That's one thing that could be happening. Another thing is that people are, a lot of us, especially, gosh, I've noticed lately how much fear people actually do carry around based on what has happened, transpired in the past couple years, that through politically and through this coronavirus, that there's so many people are on edge all the time. And one little conversation can spark this crazy array of emotion in people. Well, consider this also in a relationship. If your person has some type of fear, if they are afraid of something, or they're afraid of losing you, or they're afraid of not being good enough for you, then that too can ignite this feeling inside of them, and they attack you because they want to make you wrong so that you don't leave them. I know that sounds very ironic and counterproductive, and you're 100% right. It absolutely is. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because the way they're acting is not someone that you want to be with, so eventually you're gonna leave. But I don't want to talk about the problem the entire time in this video. What I want to talk to you guys about is, I number one want to validate you that is violent behavior. It is not okay. It is 185% dysfunctional, and it will not lead you to the healthy relationship that you are craving. You are not wrong in seeing this. You are not wrong in feeling attacked, because you are being attacked. Just because someone's not pulled a knife on you or a gun or has punched you does not mean that you are not being attacked. This is a verbal assault, and it is violent. I also feel that way about constant interrupting. If someone is constantly interrupting us, that feels very offensive and violent to me, because it is. Because that person's heart is not open and they are seeking to control. So I have a neighbor over here looking at me because I'm sitting on her wall filming the video. So hopefully she doesn't get all freaked out. You never know anymore these days. So with that being said, what I want you guys to understand is that it is up to you to handle this situation. It is up to you to understand that you have the power here. That yes, you were only having a conversation and your person freaked out on you. That is not okay in any means. And you need to reclaim your personal power by setting boundaries with this person. I'm not saying you have to leave them, and I'm not calling them a narcissist. Sometimes people have these feelings and they're not narcissists. Some people have bad communication practices and they're not narcissists. Everybody wants to throw down the narcissist term left and right, left and right. However, it does not mean that it's not violent, and it's not even abusive. So if someone is imparting violence on you or is being abusive towards you, then it is up to you to set appropriate boundaries. You might be wondering, where do I start with this? How do I start with this? Number one, These don't always work, and sometimes they take several times of practice in order for it to get into place. Number one, you say, I would like to have a conversation with you, and you have to check yourself. You have to check your own vibe going in. Are you going in some sort of attack mode? Are you going in with a hysteria in your voice? How are you going in? Check your own vibe, check your own energy going in. Are you going in for healing, or are you going to be right? Are you going in to be understood, or are you going in to be in control? Check your vibe first. Then when you go in, you use I statements. I feel. This is how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling this way right now. If your person starts to raise their voice, you say, I just need you to hear me. Okay? Just hear me right now. The calmer you can stay with a person like that, the better. Because the truth is, we can only control ourselves in any situation at any given time. So if you're not checking yourself in this, then you're kind of dead in the water. All right? The third thing is that you can set it up in advance. In a time that you have been calm and you guys have been having a good time and things are calm. A lot of times people are afraid to bring up things like this because they're like, well, I don't want to bring this up because everything's so good. This is the time to bring up things because your partner or your mom, your brother, your sister, whoever, are both in good places, okay? That's the appropriate place. You don't want to always bring stuff up when everything is heightened, because that triggers this, and people are not in their best selves when their nervous system is firing like crazy. So you say to them, I would like to be able to have rational conversations with you. It would be nice if, if I'm talking about how I feel, that we can just kind of banter back and forth about this feeling and not make it about you, not make it about me, and definitely not make it a power struggle. Let's meet in the middle. Let's compromise, because that's such a great feeling. It draws us closer together. It's two souls connected. And, we can both have peace and get our needs met. And then the next time that a situation comes up where you need to speak about it, then you can, check your vibe and approach it in I feel statements, but also remind that person going in. You can say, hey, remember when I had that conversation about things, let's talk about our feelings, let's talk about our needs being met and stuff like that, and we'll hold space for each other in this and know that it's not a personal attack. I have something I want to share with you. And, I want you to just help me through this. I'm curious to see what your feelings are around this. And then you share what it is you're feeling. And here's the special part. If that person goes sideways on you and they start freaking out on you, then you say, okay, I can see you're not in the right mindset or the right emotional set to have this conversation with me. So how about we reconvene later? I'm going to go right now. And you remove yourself from the situation. People are so afraid to remove themselves from situations because most of the time, those of us who get into these type of relationships are the gentle spirits. We're the mama nurturers. We are the empaths. We are the compassionate, the uber lovers. So we feel like we're actually hurting somebody else when we leave. But the truth is that we're loving two people in that moment. We are loving ourselves in that moment because we are removing ourselves from the situation. That's practicing self-love, self-protection, not guardedness, not armoredness, self-protection. We're saying, okay, I got to take you out of this, just the same way that you would protect a small child. But also, you're shining light on that person's behavior so that they have an opportunity to heal and to grow. But by you not engaging in it, the power struggle doesn't start. There's no power struggle. It only is, hey, that's not okay, you yelling or screaming or being violent with me, and you remove yourself. If you go, well, you're yelling, and you're like, well, you're yelling, well, then all of a sudden it becomes this big mishmash of poo. Nobody knows who's right. The fact of it, the first initial title, topic, subject of this whole thing gets completely washed downstream. And then we end up in this strange conversation that means nothing about nothing. I can feel energetically some of you are going to be shaking your heads going, oh my God, yeah, oh my God. So just practice these tools and tips, guys. Just practice them. And I'm saying practice because none of us are perfect, and we're all here to heal and grow. It's what we're here for. That's our purpose, to return to ourselves, to return to the love that we are. And just know that every time that you return to yourself, to love, you are emanating out a different vibe. And that's a vibe of healing, because love is the most powerful force in the universe. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. So much love to you. Please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you receive notifications. And also, I would super love if you comment below and hit the like button. I respond to all comments, you guys. So if you got something to say, just even a thumbs up, keep up the good work, Kristen. I would super love to hear that. Or a question, anything you like. And also feel free to message me at hello@kristenbrown.org if you want to keep something private and personal, because I understand that situation. Okay, guys, so much love to you. Peace. Mwah.